and welcome back to Optional Class, Episode 4. I'm your DM, Emma. With me today, I've got my 4 players. We've got Jude.
That's me.
Wren.
Howdy.
Rowan.
That's me.
And Adrien. As always, like and comment on the video, subscribe to our channel, and ring the bell for notifications. A little bit of recap from last episode for our lovely players here. You guys talked with Varric, the somewhat mysterious bard hired by Henry's parents to perform at the Festival of Light. In talking to him, he told you a little bit about some of the truth in his story, including but not limited to the potential location of a hidden castle not too far from you guys in Embers Hollow in the Deepwood. You guys found some old documents recapping some other stories that seem kind of similar to what Adrien's talked about with the Festival of Light and what Varric did, but which wasn't the same as either one. In amongst them, you also found a map with the location of a stronghold marked in the Deepwood.
I have rocks equals stronghold, question mark, exclamation point in my notes.
That's what we call it here. You guys did turn down Henry's idea to just leave Embers Hollow and go on this adventure by yourself, and instead asked Adrien to take you on a bit of a camping trip. And he readily agreed. So you guys, you've just been talking with Adrien, getting him to agree to this camping trip. He is all gung-ho, ready to go. I'll say, like, he's probably, like, gone to start, like, talking to your parents and things to make sure he can, like, pass this off as, like, schoolwork. So what are you guys doing to prepare for your little adventure?
I'm getting my camping stuff together. I've done this before, field training, if you will, with my dad. So I'm gonna go to my room and, like, go to the closet and get my little, like, camping rucksack and make sure I've got, like, a bedroll and all the, like, stuff I need. Maybe, like, a little wood-splitting axe, tinderbox, just anything that I would know from having done this before that, like, I know I'm gonna need while camping, some rations, that sort of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got, like, your little brown leather, like, kind of, like, backpack with your bedroll strapped to it. Your little axe goes in its little, like, side pocket. You're all, like, set to go. You've got this.
I, too, also know what I need. But I also know I don't have any. So I go to Ekiel's room and take his shit.
Cool.
Vengeance for him not joining us in the arena.
I fully just go and, like, start packing his clothes, his bed. I know he has all of this stuff. I just start packing it.
Yeah, Ekiel's still out hanging with his friends, so...
Rude.
Yeah. I'm just, like, shoving his clothing.
You go and you leave, like, a little I owe you.
Yeah, just like a note, like, I owe you, like,
As if
3
you would
shirts.
instantly know who did this.
3 shirts, 4 pants, 1 bedroll.
Yeah.
I took a blunted battle axe from Adrien's stock because I left mine back in the house and I am not going back to get it.
I'll take my little halberd, too, even though I don't necessarily need it.
Okay.
We'll be training.
Yeah. Unlike these two, I have no idea what I need. So I'm definitely, I'm taking my knife because I like my knife. But I'm definitely asking my parents for camping supplies and also snacks and a little, like, first aid kit or something.
Right. Adrien said that you were going on this little camping trip. Wonderful. And your mom sort of, like, runs over and starts, like, pulling, like, bags out of, like, a cupboard. Your dad comes over and is like, all right, so here is my old rucksack. It should be, like, right about the size for you. It's, like, this really, like, worn leather. It's like you know when, like, leather is, like, so worn it's, like, kind of soft?
Yeah.
It's like that, like, really, like, soft leather. So, like, here, he helps you, like, put it on. He's like, we have this bedroll. I used it when I was a kid, so it's kind of old. It's kind of got, like, a musty smell. But he's like, here, we'll like strap this on. Your mom comes over with just a bag full of baked goods. And it's like, so I don't know what you're going to be eating. I'm sure Adrien will be packing you food. But I wanted to make sure that like you and your friends had enough snacks for the road. Road snacks are very important when you're going on an adventure.
Enough for us and Mr. Tibbets.
Yes.
I mean, Maricor.
We don't know that.
So here I put in there some scones. I put in some scones, some breads. There's some fresh fruits, some cheeses. I did pack some herbs just in case anything happens, some like medical supplies, some salves, bandages, a splint or two. I've also packed some. She goes through. She's packed me like some butter, some. No real like dairy, but like some butter, cheeses, breads, baked goods, muffins, scones, beans. Couldn't really pack you soup. Couldn't figure out how to do that.
There's no thermoses in D&D.
Yeah.
No thermoses here in D&D.
It's only in the big city.
But did pack me like a little bit of a little bowl with some utensils. It was like just in case like Adrien like cooks anything. You never know what you're gonna get eating over an open fire, which again, I'm sure Adrien is packing food. I don't want you to feel like I don't think Adrien is going to pack you food.
I don't think
I just want you to have enough.
Thanks, Mom.
Okay, there is some dried like jerky in there too, like some dried meats. So feel free to have that too. All right. The bag your mom gives you is the size of the bag your dad gave you.
Yes, love it. Oh my god.
So she's like, here you go.
Thanks, Mom. I don't know. This is
Don't
a really
forget
heavy
to
rucksack.
share.
I will.
Oh,
I will not forget.
eat all of them. Wait, don't forget to say goodbye to your brother before you go.
Is the first aid kit labeled?
The first aid kit is kind of labeled. It's like a little like bag wrapped up in the bigger bag.
No, like for the individual. I don't want to use the wrong thing and make someone sick.
Oh, I only packed you things that are like really helpful. I didn't touch any of the others. So it's really just like some basic salves, some bandages, things like that. Adrien should have things if God forbid something happened, Maricor forbid something happened and someone got seriously injured. I'm sure Adrien will be packing like some real first aid stuff.
He's
like,
also magic.
suture wounds.
The first aid kit for babies.
Suture wounds and the like. Of course, magic and all of that. But you can never. Magic does not solve all of our problems. Remember that.
No, it does not.
It does not. So, some like mostly like some basic like burn salves, scrapes, abrasions, things like that.
Thanks, Mom. This will be super helpful. I'm gonna put on my rucksack.
What's your strength?
6.
Yeah, give me a strength check.
No, it's fine. She's gonna grow from this.
Adrien will
She's
carry
gonna grow
this.
from
I think
this.
that's where you're getting your next point. Never mind.
Nope.
6.
Honest.
You matched your strength score.
Honest 6. It's not.
Pause.
Honest 6. It's not. I mean, it is heavy. It's not like you do kind of like balance it out. What I'm kind of thinking is like you have like the semi-heavy like rucksack on your back, and you're carrying the somewhat heavy bag of food and medical supplies on your front to sort of like
it doesn't
even
fit in the
Balanced
rucksack?
like a
No.
pendulum.
It is the size of the rucksack.
Okay, so I can't like just have a
Adorable.
giant
You can't
bag.
have a giant bag. No, so I think to
okay.
sort of balance out the two things, you're sort of like carrying one in your arms and have one on your back, and it's sort of keeping you from toppling over. So that's sort of like how you're walking to Adrien's.
Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Dad. I
Don't forget
got
to say
it.
goodbye to your brother. You see your brother's like in his little crib.
Bye, Corey.
I mean,
Kids.
I'm gonna keep doing
And she's
it.
like-
Sorry, one more time.
not smile.
It's like a pull string toy. I love it. Thank you.
She's like trudging with her. Like, she can do this. She's determined.
I think that like Clary, or Yarrow. I think that like Clary, I go to my parents first. just pack
Yeah.
and make sure that they know what's happening.
Give me.
Please give me just a look check. Are they home or not?
Nice to me. I cleansed you under the full moon. Yay! 14.
Hey, yeah, you walk
Maybe that's
in.
bad.
You walk in. Yeah, on a 14 luck check.
They're
Good
home.
luck means your parents are home now. No, you walk into the kitchen, and your parents are sort of sitting around. Your dad's at the table, your mom's sort of at the stove cooking, and both of them sort of look at you kind of expectantly when you come in.
Mother, father, I'm sure you've already heard from Adrien, but he thought it would be a wonderful idea for us to learn survival skills through a camping trip.
Yes, we did actually speak to Adrien not too long ago about that, and I have to say I wholeheartedly agree.
Great.
You could I think you could that is something that I think we have sort of let go in your training and tutelage. I think we focused quite a bit on more of the political aspect of adventuring and less on the actual adventuring. So I wholeheartedly agree.
Yarrow is like glowing with excitement when like he's happy about the idea that she actually came up with. Like,
And then he somehow crushes it.
I'm waiting.
We don't know that.
We do.
We do.
Right, so I'm sure you know what you have to bring.
Of course. I mean, well, Adrien is also bringing quite a bit. I was planning to get some of the more adventure-ready clothes, ones that wouldn't be bad to get dirty, because we obviously want to save the nice ones for when we're in public and not in the woods, as well as I've got some weapons already waiting at Adrien's to bring. I was thinking of a backpack and a water skin and some rations and maybe a basic healing kit, though I'm sure Adrien has that already because he's a paladin. And my training boots, not my nicer ones.
There's an excellent list of things to bring with you. Yarrow, gather them.
Yes.
Shall you?
I instantly go. I have like a bag that is much fancier, but is still like a bit more adventure-y. I start packing all of my like adventure things. I make sure everything, despite the fact that I went on this whole spiel about it needing to be adventure ready, everything is still color coordinated. It is still outfits and not simply throwing in pants and a shirt. As well as like I grab everything. I think that I might need to do a roll because this is a new space of if I know where everything is automatically.
Yeah, give me a roll for that.
What would that be? Perception?
Perception or investigation.
It's gonna be investigation. That's much better.
Yeah, investigation, if you're gonna like actually go searching for it, might take you a little bit longer to get ready.
Yeah. Perception. It's actually the same bonus.
Oh, so you want to try to do this a little bit faster?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm trying to impress them.
Alright.
I'm trying to keep that going. 16.
On a 16, you walk into your room, look around, and immediately clock where your parents have put the boxes with like your clothes and some of your other like adventuring things.
And like the healing, just
And
a
the
basic healing
stuff.
kit.
And you pretty quickly
I
manage to
pack
get
it, I
all
make
that.
sure it is so organized and like lined up beautifully. I check my hair, make sure it is still in tight braids. I put on my backpack and I walk back into the living room rather quickly already.
Yeah, your dad has gone back to drinking his coffee and is just like reading some like letters. And he kind of looks up as you come in. I'm gonna give you a bit of a once over. Gives you a bit of a once over. Excuse me, is wonderful. You'll be back in 3 days' time? About?
Yes. That is what the current plan is according to Adrien.
Right.
If it is any longer, I'm sure he has a way of sending a message.
Of course. Give me an insight check on your dad
He
here.
is very aware of how anxious I am. That's what this has got to be, right? Insight? Ooh, there we go. There's my normal rolls.
Or she somehow missed something and he's glad
That is a 10.
Wait, real quick.
I have a +2.
No, you actually
raised my wisdom!
I noticed that last time too, so
Thank
it's actually
you.
an 11.
My perception's up too! Oh my gosh, that's so exciting. It's an 11.
I think on an 11, your dad has an expression on his face you aren't sure you've ever seen before,
Uh-oh.
and that makes you nervous.
Is it pride?
And I think
I think some of the...
so
Yeah,
how well do you think you hide
That's
that you're
horrifying.
nervous in a minute?
Can I...
You want to roll deception?
No, I think that the people I'm the worst at doing that with are my parents.
Yeah, and are you trying to hide this, or does it happen so quickly?
It happens very quickly. It just instantly is about to be like, oh, what did I miss?
Okay.
That's horrifying.
And you see that expression you haven't seen before. And again, he doesn't have much. Like you can't really
Is it
read
pride
what
or
it
is
is.
regret?
You
Like,
can't really read what the expression is. It's unreadable because you're like, I've never like
I'm-
really. I don't know.
I'm not
And
used
you
to
see-
answering questions.
You hit like you feel your heart start beating, and you see his expression change to something you are more familiar with, which is sort of like vague disappointment.
Oh God. Oh, they're complex people. Oh, they don't feel good about this. Did I miss anything?
And your mother speaks up from across the room. No, darling. It's fine. You best be on your way.
Yes.
Make us proud.
I will. I will.
Uh, And off you go.
Yarrow's like shaking with nerves, but
Oh my god.
isn't able to hide that.
Come
either,
on,
but
bitch slap
guess not.
these people.
Yeah.
And you guys all you guys gather your things, make your way back
Poor
to
girl.
Adrien's house, where you find Adrien with his like giant rucksack. He's got his like big bedroll. He's got a couple of tents in it. He's got like some tents. He's got like his rations. He's got his like big halberd. He's strung like crosswise across his back, so he can pull it off if need be. He's wearing his like adventuring pants, his like nice leather trousers, worn but like sturdy leather boots. He's got like his the top of his armor on, so he's got like his big like steel and leather like kind of plate mail on. As he's like here, he's got like all of his fire starters, his tinders, everything. He's got everything packed up. His bag is fully like twice the size of Andy. It's like 2 Andys tall and like an Andy and a half wide.
Oh my
Damn.
God, would
Oh my
make
God.
it like 6 feet tall.
2
Oh,
Andys
okay, not
tall.
quite. I'm 2'7".
Yeah.
Okay, so
Just about 5 feet. Just over 5 feet.
Yeah.
I think
Maybe
Clary
it's
comes.
2 sides wide.
Yeah.
it's a big rucksack.
All I need from this, and I'll be so real, is like one of those cat backpacks with like a little netted area for breathing through that like Andy can go in. That's all I want.
Clary like staggers in and sees this giant bag, and it's like, I can do this. Gotta do that. I can do it. I'm gonna be like Adrien and carry the giant bag. This is
I'm just
right.
here with all the
Determination.
heel stuff.
But-
Clary, that's awfully that's an awfully large bag that you have.
I can do it. It's snacks. It's rations
snacks
and also a first aid kit.
Is that from your parents? So nice of them. And a first aid kit, wonderful. I do have some like first aid supplies as well as, of course, magic. But it's always nice to have some extras.
I also
Yeah.
brought a healing kit.
Well, mine's a first aid kit for babies because my mom doesn't trust me to not mix them up. But I hope it'll help.
No, mine's the same. It's really quite simple.
So you said you had snacks?
I do have snacks. I just put the rucksacks down. But it has to last 3 days.
I've learned about this group. It's that snacks are the bonding factor.
It has
So
to
I
last-
grab a snack.
It has to last 3 days, so it has to
I think
last.
it will last 3 days. Can I have one, Clary?
Henry,
Oh,
like,
yes, can I have one, please? That was terribly rude of me.
Henry just already has the scone.
Can I make an insight check? Because I feel like Clary might pick up some anxious
for it.
vibes here.
Oh, yeah.
Who? Clary? Why are you so anxious right now?
Okay, that's insight. That's a 22.
I'll roll a deception.
Okay.
That's a 5. Wait, no, that is a... I have a bonus.
You have a bonus.
It's 2, not 1.
Where the hell is... Yes, that is a 7, actually. So I don't think you get anything from me, other than the fact that I'm incredibly anxious. Obviously, I'm always anxious.
Yarrow,
Mm.
do you
Don't do it again, please.
do you require a hug?
Require? No.
Would you like a hug?
You'd have to put a lot of things down first.
Hang on. Edward is gonna.
It's okay to be nervous about camping. I've never been camping either.
She's perfectly right. You know, actually, it's a great thing is that when it comes to camping, camping can be very dangerous. It can be a very scary time. We're going to go out in the woods. We don't know what we're going to find. So, why don't we get this whole thing started with a group hug? And he fully takes
We all
all
have
of
to put
you,
so much down.
Like big arms.
he
we all
fully-
try to get around the back, but everyone's doing backpacks.
Giant
It's
rucksack.
like,
Yeah.
he sort of does a group hug and then he goes around and like hugs each of you individually.
Aw.
That's new.
And is like, all right.
Sorry.
Clary.
Was I too sad again?
Yeah, he hugs everybody individually and he's like, all right, Clary, are you sure you can carry that?
We could get
I'm gonna roll
wagon.
deception.
Deception.
Oh my god! So I didn't roll.
You're
I
on
didn't wash the
fire.
good luck off when you spilled your tea on these.
Don't out me like that to the internet, man.
Oh my god. What do I have for deception?
17.
On camera.
So that's 17 because I have -1.
These dice.
All right, so what does Clary say?
I can do it. And it'll get lighter as we go on because it's snacks and people are gonna eat the snacks.
That's true, I suppose.
Fair point.
Maybe it should have been.
Henry's still having this go. That's a fair point.
Maybe it should have been persuasion, honestly, because that's the argument.
All right. Well, if it gets difficult, I can take it, and you can carry. He kind of goes through and pulls out like one of the little tents. It's a much smaller bag. He can
He's
carry
so
this.
good. He's so good at providing replacements.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
This one's a little bit unwieldy, so
Well, I'm gonna try.
okay. All right.
Him so much.
Me too.
Um,
That's my dad.
so you ready? All right. Well, like I said, if it gets too much or whatever, you can take this one. It would actually probably convenient me more because, like I said, it's kind of unwieldy with everything else. But you go right ahead. All right.
Yeah, I think Claire's really determined to try and to, because
That's
and
good.
to get stronger and all that.
That's
So
good. That's good.
yes.
Also, did anyone bring a compass?
I have a compass.
A what?
So,
Sure.
so Adrien comes over. Mind you,
There are
guys,
compasses in
who-
this world.
who is the tallest person here?
Henry.
How
Fine.
tall?
I'm like about 12, so I'm probably like 4 feet, like 3/4. I don't know, a little under 5 feet.
What?
Are you
no.
4 feet tall?
I don't know heights. A little under like 5 feet.
Like 4'10"?
Like 4'10", yeah.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
That's
Claire's
good.
like
I'm
half
really-
feet
I'm more
tall.
like 4'5", 4'6", so I'm like a
Another
few inches
Okay,
shorter, but
and
not
Ed-
much shorter.
And Adrian's about like 6'2",
Teeny
6'3".
Yeah, I'm like 4'10".
So he comes over, pulls out. You see, he puts his bag down. He's like, everybody can like put their things down. All right, this is the most important part. We're gonna start lessons now, right? So this is one of the most important things when it comes to camping in the wilderness or traveling at any time, anywhere, is you have to make sure you know where you're going and how you're going to get there. All right. So everybody, come here. He kind of like, so he puts his big rucksack down, sort of crouches down, and pulls out a map of the deep wood. This is It's a thick parchment map. So it like unrolls and it's got like this thick parchment with like these like charcoal like lines across it, mapping out where everything is. There's like little compass rose up. Who here thinks that they've seen a map before and like is like sufficient in reading?
I mean, in the
Didn't we
last
see one in the
episode,
library?
I was able to decode it enough to know exactly which rocks we were going to.
Yeah, like we've
So
all
I think
seen it.
That's my
I feel like I've
Yeah.
probably
So-
seen this
Yeah.
map.
Yeah, so you've definitely seen this map
Clary
before.
has seen this map. I think her usual method of navigating in the woods is asking directions.
From Mr. Tibbs.
That's
So,
fair.
Yeah.
Henry's
so-
probably seen a map, whether or not Henry knows how to read one is.
Okay, yeah, because this is, and he's like, okay, so,
You're all trained in cartography.
yeah, and he's like, so
That's
this,
not true.
and he's like, so this is what we call, this is a topographical. So it has, you can see here, it has like the different elevations. You can see, like, you see where these lines are like fitter together. That means that you've got higher elevation. Yes.
Are those lines there in real life?
No. It's just to symbolize, because when you're on a flat map, as we kind of like lays the map out flat and like lays rocks down to keep it flat. It's like, so you see that our map is flat, right?
Yeah.
But, and he kind of crouches down so he's eye level with you, and he points out into the woods.
That's not flat.
And he's like, and you can see where there's like, you can see the trees sort of come up, and there's like
Yeah.
an area where the trees are above the tops of the other trees.
Uh-huh.
That's a hill. So on this map, we can't draw a hill super accurately, right? We can't
Put a
make.
rock under the paper.
Oh, you could put a rock into the paper. That's true. But once you pick the map up, then the hill is gone, right? So topographical maps are meant to show elevation and levels of elevation in a way, in a medium that typically isn't conducive to showing real elevation.
Which makes planning travel easier because you're not then routing us out over a giant mountain.
Exactly. Because if I didn't have this map, say, and he points to like a cluster of areas, sort of like way beyond where you guys would be going, where you can see like there's a bunch of lines really, really close together. And he's like, so right here is like way at the top of the map. And he's like, so up here is the start of the frozen mountains, right? So you can see where these lines are so close together. That indicates something that's very, very high, right? If we didn't know that, and I said, let's just go that way, we might hit a mountain and not know before we got there that that's what we would be climbing. We might not have the correct gear. But, you know, mountains take longer to climb. Even if it's the same distance, it still takes longer. Because you have to go up and you have to be prepared for that. So we might not have the proper supplies, the proper amount of rations. Yes, Clary.
What about through or under?
Through or under the mountain? So if we went through or under the mountain, it would take time off of going over the mountain. That is correct. Over the mountain is always going to be longer than through or under. However, unless there are pre-built tunnels, getting through or under the mountain would be very difficult. If there were tunnels pre-built so that we could find, well, then that would cut a lot of time off our adventure. The hazard is that a lot of the times we don't know where those tunnels go. So unless they're man-made and we have maps of them to know like where they get to, we find ourselves deep underground with no way out.
Got it.
Okay, because my cousins live under a mountain and they don't get lost.
Your cousins live under a mountain. Presumably they live in dwarf-made.
Yes.
Dwarf-made tunnels. Like there are maps.
So
and
those aren't
pathways.
everywhere. Okay.
Those aren't everywhere.
That's
no.
disappointing.
A lot of the times under mountains and actually underground, there are caves and tunnels that are sort of just naturally there from the earth forming. But a lot of them only go one direction, and that's down. So getting back out is the difficult part. But we're not going to be traveling to any tunnels or underground this
Good.
We'll be
Aw.
traveling overground, but maybe next time. Maybe next time we'll see if I can find a nice.
And here, and I go over to the map and I sort of point out like where I had seen the rocks because I had marked that on my own map. So this is where we found on our map.
Right, and you see on his map, it is there's really nothing remarkable there. His map is much newer than the one that you saw. So you see, like, a lot of things are different between the two. Trees are a little bit bigger. You do see a little bit more of, it's a little bit larger, his map, as though more had been explored when his map was drawn than when yours had. Like, your map didn't have the frozen mountains. And you see on his map where you indicate that you saw this stronghold, there's really nothing remarkable about it. It's just another area in this swath of trees.
I trust my research.
And he's like, and I trust you. So, sorry. You're like, that's done. He's like, so I trust you, and I trust you. So, and you see he reaches into his bag and pulls out.
I am trustworthy.
Could have said that one more convincingly.
I don't know what you mean.
You are trustworthy. You did this research, and I trust that it's there. We'll find it. Don't worry. And he
Keeps trying to mimic the wink and never gets it right.
and he pulls out a piece of charcoal. Because he knows that the map is like, it's got these charcoal lines and then sort of like a laminate cover of some kind on it. And you see he marks off in like this charcoal that area. And he's like, all right, so this is our destination, right? We have to mark down where we're going because we have to know where we're going. So, we're going to be heading here. Does anybody see any sort of like easy, what looks to be like an easy or direct path to
Would that be a perception?
this area?
For survival.
Pro survival.
Okay.
Oh, I'm terrible. 5. Oh shit, I got
19.
18.
Okay, hang on.
18, 19?
5.
5,
6.
18, 19,
Look
6.
at us go.
All right. I'm gonna say the two younger ones. Why do you think this is a harder task for you? It's funny that we split like by age group.
I feel like for Clary, this is like a different way to conceptualize topography for her. Because she like grew up here and, you know, her Aunt Gunhildra like grew up in the mountains and like, I don't know, I think her spatial concepts of how topography works are maybe just like different because of, you know, various like lore that she's heard, like stories that she's heard, you know, in which, you know, something steep is not necessarily an obstacle. I think this may be the first time she's seen a topographical map.
Okay.
That's like, you know, I guess topography from a bird's eye versus maybe like a cross section or whatever, you know?
Okay. So it's just hard.
It's just hard.
Something
It's
you've
just
never seen
A
before.
new way of thinking about it for her.
Okay.
I think Andy is distracted. I think he has started realizing how intimidating this project is. I think he is starting to become, like, concerningly aware of the fact that we're going on a little adventure. We can cut this, but I don't think we've been completely honest with Adrien still. Like, he doesn't...
We said that we...
Does he know about the
We're
story?
going to the
Yeah,
rock.
we
Yeah.
said... Because he asked us, is this about the story?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
Yes,
sorry.
yes, no,
It's been a hot second.
He
You got
fully
it.
got on board
When we became honest.
when he
Awesome.
became honest.
It's been a second.
But it's okay to still feel bad about, like, lying in the first place.
Yeah, but like, Andy still feels bad about lying in the first place. This is a real adventure. Like, he's done training with Adrien before, but this is the first time that Adrien is really expecting me to, like, do this for myself. Like this sort of thing, instead of just, like, mapping out where we're gonna go and all of that. And I think Andy is just in this moment, like, starting to realize all of that, and is quite distracted.
Give me a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah, this table has such bad anxiety.
Okay,
Okay.
that's a 21.
Make a note of that. I just want you to like note.
Horrifying.
Note that I was anxious about this.
No.
That you succeeded.
Note a successful wisdom save.
Oh, yeah.
That's so
Oh,
much
that's
worse.
so much
That's
worse.
Much worse.
Oh my god.
Super cheery children part of the campaign.
feel like
a
we got the more or less well-adjusted, like,
I wouldn't
lax-
say well-adjusted.
Oh. Yeah, no. I don't think any of
Henry's sitting right next to you.
Alright.
Okay,
It's true.
the ones who don't know what anxiety is.
Yes.
Yeah, so the two of you, so Andy, and the only reason that I want you to know that is because I think Andy is starting to have a reaction that nobody else quite is yet, which is the gravity of what
We're
this
doing.
That's
trip
fair.
is.
Yeah.
The rest of us are
And
very much
what
in it's a
this
game
means,
still.
and what this means for
you less so.
Andy.
Me very
Yeah.
much so.
Like,
And
Yeah.
that's really why I want
Yeah.
to do that. Don't be like,
Hidden mechanic.
yeah, there's no hidden mechanics. It's just I think that this is a moment that Andy is realizing things.
We're too caught up in her anxiety to realize those things.
Yes. So the two older kids who saw this map and were able to sort of like see this path. You guys can see where you are, kind of at the edge of Embers Hollow. And you see there's various like hills and like slightly larger hills and lower hills and thicker forests and some streams and maybe a river throughout the deep woods. And the two of you see not quite a direct path, but a kind of path sort of weaving between some of these like hilly parts. In sort of a not quite a zigzag, but kind of like a wave. There's like a little bit, you have to cross like a little bit of a creek, but you don't go over the big river. And you avoid a lot of like the larger hills. And you sort of like zigzag around through the woods to the stronghold. Anybody who wants to, those of you who see this, can give me I almost want to say a nature check.
Okay. 15.
14.
We're really neck and neck for this.
Yeah.
We're
Okay.
in it.
I think on a 14, Henry, you see this and are like, huh, cool. I think Yarrow, you see this and looking at it from above, you have a lot more training with like maps and like history and the world than
I've had a lot of
Henry
academic
does.
training.
And I think you look at this and you're like, that's weird. That's like almost a direct path.
Almost like it was made to have one. Like it was built that way.
Almost like there was a road
Or at least a trail.
or a trail or a river.
I know.
It's
No,
not. I
man-made
don't think
road.
it's not so much like there was a path there. That's not the issue that you're in because it's through like the
But it
trees
was
and the hills.
intentional.
But you're like, but I think you look at it and you see this where the stronghold is, and you're like, if that stronghold were in any other location that I can like really see, it would be a lot harder to get to.
So it's a very deliberate choice.
Right
Mhm.
here means that this like weaving sort of around the hills and through the woods and over the creek means that you avoid all of those other things. The river, the thicker trees. You can see where Adrien's marked off like some like thick bramble patches and things like that, and it really avoids a lot of that.
I sort of go over to the map and I just sort of start like tracing with my finger what I'm seeing. And I just go, it looks like we have a pretty direct path. If anything, the fact that it's so direct, which I don't think it could be anywhere else, makes me a bit more hopeful that these rocks really are a stronghold. Because maybe they needed a direct path when they built it.
Could be a lot of times. So unfortunately, like not unfortunately, this area. Yeah, you're relatively new here. I don't know how much you know about the history of Embers Hollow.
Nothing at all.
But Embers Hollow is one of the older towns in on the continent. And it's been around for quite some time.
Quick question for Henry.
Yes.
So, Henry knows Embers Hollow
Yes.
and knows like the lore of where it came from. Like it's rooted very much in family history. As Yarrow's kind of pointing out this pathway to something, would Henry know anything about like stories?
Give me a history check.
No, that was 4.
On a
wait,
four-
listening.
On a 4, I think
Damn.
Henry maybe. Here's the thing about Henry. You're right. Henry's family is a big part of this, but
Henry
Henry
might not
doesn't
care.
want to be.
Yeah.
So I think that Henry. I think on a 4 you don't remember anything, and you realize that you should remember something, but you don't.
But I don't. Like I should know something, but I don't.
I think that's sort of what you realize at that moment.
Yeah.
And it's like, so Embers Hollow is one of the oldest towns in Iran. It's been around for quite some time. A lot of the maps that we have are from varying times. But over time, things get lost. They get lost, they change, we forget about them. That is the unfortunate part of history, is that unless we write it down, in eons it's forgotten, hard to remember. It's why things like stories exist. Stories and myth, religion exist. To remember the past. Remember things that have happened. So, what you're noticing, just all this to say, Yarrow, what you're noticing here, this could very well, if this stronghold is here, and this really is something older than memory holds on to, older than recollection lasts, then it's entirely possible it was put there because there's this relatively easy pathway. That's a pretty good sign that perhaps there's something there. Of course, the topography of the Deepwood would have changed since then, so it's also entirely possible that it's not. This could just be a coincidence. But in adventuring, this is something I want all of you to hear. In adventuring, coincidence is often a mistake on the person seeing it than on the items itself. The world doesn't make coincidences. We do. Understand? Wonderful. So we have a path, right? We have our pathway, we have our location. So it is, and he kind of looks up at the sky, and he's like, can anyone tell me approximately what time it is?
Intelligence check.
Nature
Ooh.
check. Baby.
Nature
Oh my
check.
god.
Natural 20.
Ooh,
I
that's
had a
11
19
for
on
me.
my dice.
11.
11.
Nature, you said? That's a 23.
All of you, this is something that's like easy child's play. You guys have been doing this since you were old enough to run around outside by yourselves, and your parents would tell you to be back by whatever time. It's like sort of mid-morning, 9, 10-ish in the morning. So he's like, so it's about, and you guys like all let him know.
9 to 10ish in the morning.
Wonderful, wonderful.
10 o'clock.
Andy
That
has
is
the
what I
exact
rolled.
time because got the nut.
Yeah. What is?
It's 9:26.
He kind of like scratches around in his pocket, pulls out. He doesn't really have a
Your
pocket.
watch is a minute fast.
Yeah, it probably doesn't have like an actual like watch.
Portable sundial.
But he has like kind of like a mini sort of like pocket sundial-y type thing
Wild.
that he pulls out and like holds up, and he's like,
I guess that couldn't be a minute.
It couldn't be a minute fast.
and like puts that away, and he's like, you
Your
are
watch.
exactly correct.
Damn.
Good on you. And he sort of-
Honestly,
he
almost concerning.
he kind of
Yeah.
ruffles Andy's head. He's a little bit like,
Andy's worrying,
Like,
maybe.
Seriously.
Anyway,
hmm.
okay, yes, we have the time.
Yeah, and he's like, right, so that means that we've got several hours before dark. So, second part of this
Several.
Many.
What, does it get dark at noon here?
many hours.
Yes, we're actually
Daylight
in the
savings?
Nordic countries.
Several many.
Get 3 hours of
It
daylight.
all means
It's daylight savings.
it all means the same thing. Anyway, several many whatever. He's like, we've got a while before dark. So, part 2 of this lesson. We know where we're going. We know how we're going to get there. When adventuring, it is unwise to simply go. But you never know what could happen. You never know if you could get tired, if perhaps the topography is different from your map. Again, things change. This map is relatively new, because I update it and get like updated versions occasionally.
Here's a subscription box.
Yeah, I get a subscription to the Map Makers Guild.
Maps monthly.
Maps monthly? Yeah. Maps monthly. And he's like, I update this like every like few years. So it's pretty recent. But if you're traveling somewhere that you don't know, or you have a very old map, sometimes pathways are different. You know, bridges might have collapsed. Rivers might be gone. Rivers or creeks might have dried up. You might have a rock fall somewhere where there wasn't before. All things to keep in mind. So you never want to just say, well, let's just go until we stop. Because you never know what you're going to encounter. Somebody might get injured or hurt. It's always important to know sort of like where you want to go, how far you want to get. And if you get there early, you can always think and go, okay, what's the next stop? Because you also want to make sure that you camp somewhere convenient. So if you just go, you might end up camping somewhere where there's no convenient place for a fire, or no convenient water sources or food sources. Because while rations are good, you do want to also rely on what's around you so you don't use all of your rations very quickly, right?
Clary casts a concerned glance at this giant sack.
I think we'll be okay. That sack will keep us going for quite some
Can I
time.
start looking at the map and just looking for like clearings, maybe,
Yeah.
so that we can start mapping.
That would be
them
like another survival check for anybody who
out. Oh
wants.
boy. No. 7.
Ooh.
That is a 15.
13.
Clary's not gonna move
I've had
one.
enough with the map. I can
She's-
do it
she's-
for a while.
Clary's not worried about this. Preparation schmeparation. Like, figure it out. Just ask directions. She knows these
Yeah,
woods, sort
directions
of.
in the woods.
She knows like the
She knows the very first part of the woods.
yeah.
In the shower.
And like, she trusts Mr. Tibbets, the squirrel,
He'll be
who
with us always.
she has no reason to believe anything other than just a regular squirrel.
Isn't she the one who suggested that he might be Maricor?
No,
No, he's just Mr. Tibbets who
this is
controls
Mr.
the weather.
Tibbets. He's my friend. Yeah.
Because you said that he brought the spring.
Well,
And
yeah,
then we
everyone
had
knows
the whole
that
lesson about
squirrels.
Maricor bringing
come
spring,
out
and
when
that's
it's-
when you were like, maybe
Mr.
Mr.
Tibbets
Tibbets.
is Miracle.
did I
You
say
did
It was
say
you.
that.
Did I say that?
Anyway.
Well, that wasn't.
I'm
Oops.
very passionate about that.
Oops.
Mr. Tibbets. So he's like, so you can obviously start looking for like little clearings or whatever as Adrien continues to go on like the list of like what makes a good camping site. So what were the rules that we
I got
had?
15.
A 15,
7.
13.
13. On a 15, I think you spot like 2 places that are like good. You see one is sort of nestled between like the creek and one of like the slightly larger hills that you walk around, that you're planning on walking around. You see there's another one that's sort of like in an actual kind of like clearing where it looks like the trees aren't as thick. But there don't appear to be like any hills or anything nearby.
Okay.
And you sort of point those 2 out. And it's like, exactly. So like, this one you can see that we've got nice shelter from the mountain and then a creek for water and fish. The next one is a nice little clearing, so we have like good visibility, a good place to pitch tents. And both of those are pretty well spaced because it'll take us 3 days to get to the stronghold. So we can get to the first campsite today, camp tonight, make it to the second campsite tomorrow, camp, and then on the 3rd day we'll make it to the stronghold.
Great.
And if we need to, we can camp at the stronghold and then back.
The episode only gets this look of horror. My parents thought we were only going to be gone for 3 days. It's going to be 6.
I just thought of that.
Clary also just thought of it.
I'll work it out. I did tell them it should have been.
I asked if it was 3.
I'll fix that later.
Okay. Just hit me.
We'll take care of it. I'll take care of it. Yes,
Is this enough for 6 days?
I think that'll be fine.
Are you sure?
I think that's enough.
I also have rations. Plus
do
I'm
too.
planning on doing some hunting while we're out. Are we ready to go? Henry's like already like at the edge of the woods, like guys,
Yes.
alright, guys. The third rule.
I bring the scimitar.
The third rule of adventuring is stay together.
We all turn and look at Henry.
Split the party.
He does go through and like eye each of you. He's like, alright, so
I feel like the two most likely.
Henry's doing that thing where like an adult makes eye contact with you to be like, make sure you understand. She's like, okay, can anybody repeat back to me the 3 rules of camping, of adventure? Or the 3 like big rules of adventure?
One of them
Know your
was
path.
stay together.
Stay together.
One was that you need to know where you're going and how you're going to get there. And then there was also
Plan ahead.
Plan ahead, and coincidence is often a mistake on the part of people.
Wonderful. Right, so the
Did I
3
give an extra one?
the three big ones I was thinking of were stay together, plan where you're going and how you're going to get there,
No, where you're
plan
sleeping.
ahead,
Yes.
and then the coincidences are made by man, not nature. Is
So ominous.
yeah, really.
Coincidences are made by man, not nature.
Is more of like that's more of a golden rule for observation purposes than it is for like strict adventuring. It's more like an observation. When you observe things, keep that in mind.
Extra credit.
Andy feels so bad that he did not remember a single one of those.
It's okay, I only know because I take notes.
But that's all right. So we're ready to go.
Yes.
All right. And he picks up his rucksack, rolls his map up, sticks it in the map tube, sticks the map in the rucksack, picks up the rucksack, slings it over his back, unwedges his halberd so he can reach it if necessary. And he's like, all right, now who's ready for an adventure?
We are!
Yes.
All right.
I feel like we already said yes earlier.
Let's keep going.
And he's going to start leading the way into the woods.
Into the woods. Sorry, my echolalia is real
Is that gonna get a copyright strike?
We
no,
can't
you have
sing
a
that.
certain number of seconds you can
seconds.
do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A single little sting of it isn't.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah, so he starts off into the woods, and all of you following.
You can't
Um,
keep saying that
you can't.
phrase.
No, because I'm gonna start doing it too.
Okay.
It's contagious.
And you guys all start following. Travel is like kind of just walking. So everybody give me survival checks to make sure
This
that
is the day of survival checks.
You guys
Okay.
are
Natural 20.
I got a
Plus
have
2.
advantage because I hang out in the woods a lot.
I
Please.
have a 21, so we're both up
Natural
there.
20
but
plus 2
you're...
for a 22.
I got 17.
Let's go. You and your
17.
survival checks.
I got a
Is that
6,
two
but I
natural
request
on
advantage
survival?
because I hang out in the woods all the time.
I
3 survival
deny
checks
your
over
advantage because
15.
that is
Oh,
not
sorry,
what's going
19,
on here.
Not
Oh,
21.
okay. In that
19.
case, we can just say that Clary's like very.
Thinking of nature.
She's struggling with the bag a
Yeah,
little.
this is more for like this is like a survival check, more for like can you stay on the path and like follow like as Adrien's talking like now we're going north and not west.
Oh yeah, no,
or, like,
Clary's so
all of these
distracted.
things,
She's
and
so
he's
distracted.
like showing you like how
We
to use
need
the compass,
one of
and
those
the
like
sun.
toddler backpack leashes.
Yeah, and he's like this is more for like as because Adrien's leading the way. You're not gonna really get lost.
Mhm.
But it's more for like, do you follow as Adrien is like telling you about the sun and like how to use the moss on the trees to know which way is north and south, and like showing you his compass and like pointing out the places like stay on the path here and not over there and like pointing out the various like animal tracks. And I know that Clary's like used to being in the woods, but I think that this is all just a lot of information
Yeah.
for Clary.
Well, and honestly, she's looking out for Mr. Tibbets, and she's like, "Oh, that's a cool mushroom." and that kind of thing.
Yeah, and so I think a lot of like Edrin's sort of like academics, like literal survival 101 is sort of like
Also, Clary's
billowing
probably
in the
dragging
wind.
behind from all the pastries.
Yeah, just, like, munching on
I
one.
need it to be known I've had like 3 survival checks in the high teens. And I have a
Same.
-1.
Oh, I have a +1, but I'm still
No,
doing good. And
you
then,
have a
and then Jude
-1.
over here has had 2 nat 20s on survival.
On
One was
hit.
on nature, actually, but that's okay.
Nature, you're right. Similar.
Yeah. So I think
skill basis, weirdly.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, so I think that that's sort of like what's going on. The rest of you are like pretty easily following what Adrien is saying. I think some of you are like more hanging on his words than others.
This table.
Henry.
Oh,
I think Henry's
Henry.
really,
like
really
it.
focused on.
Carrie is not paying attention.
Yeah, so I think the 3 of you are sort of like not just listening, but like really kind of hanging on to Adrien's words. As he's sort of like talking, as you guys are going like farther into the woods than you've really, I think, either been allowed to, in the case of Clary,
And
and Henry.
I've been here for a week.
Andy, you've probably been pretty far into the woods, but with your dad in a very different sense. Yarrow, have you ever been in the woods before?
Absolutely not. I've never been in woods. The closest I think I would be to woods is maybe a park, or I've been to the bay, and there's I sort of see the algae in the shallow parts of the bay as similar to the woods because that's sort of like where my mom's from. So but no, I've never been in a forest by any means. I've seen trees.
Yeah. So I think that this is sort of like a new experience. But the
You're
3
starry-eyed about it all.
but I think that the 3 of you are like, this is the adventure. This is like this is the adventure. This is the learning opportunity. This is the time with your dad and your friends. That all of you are sort of like hang on to. And then I think Clary's really focused on like, hey,
This is
animals,
fun.
mushrooms. I'm having a fun time with my buddies.
Yeah.
And I think that
She's
the
so
like
unserious, oh my
academic
God.
portion of this is maybe a little bit more lost on Clary.
I feel like
I think she's also, I think she has a false sense of security, right? Because she, hangs out in the sort of closer, friendlier parts of the woods all the time. She feels very safe in the woods. She already feels like she knows enough, or, yeah. I think she doesn't necessarily feel like there's as much for her to learn as the other kids.
Okay. So, because like I said, a lot of
So
this
she's got a little hubris here.
A little.
Yeah, so like I said, a lot of this walking is really just literally like walking. So rather than like role play 7 hours of you guys walking
What do you mean?
through the
That's
woods.
fascinating. It's riveting.
I'm gonna, starting with Andy, ask you, as you're traveling now deeper and farther into the woods than you have ever been before, because you're traveling about 7 hours today to and you're walking at like a fairly slow pace because he's like talking and pointing things out,
And
you
we're
are
children.
you're stopping and like taking breaks. But you are traveling like a pretty far distance
I'm going to be so sore
to-
tomorrow.
this campsite. How is Andy feeling about this experience? And when you look up, I think it's like it starts to get like a little bit dark, and Edmund's like, okay, we've like reached the campsite. And you look up and realize that the sky above you, where the sun's starting to like go down, you can start to see like the stars aren't exactly what like they're the same, but it's like from it, like, you know what I mean, like when you like move from two
Yes.
different locations, the stars are the
You're being
same.
so ominous
No,
about that. I was
no,
like,
I
the
got it.
stars
I got
are
it.
moving.
No,
I got
no.
What's happening
No, like
in the
the-
world? What did the brothers do?
No, like
the
the-
ninth brother!
Like the stars are the same, but like you're looking at them from a different angle. And you turn around and you realize that you can't see the glow of Embers Hollow anymore. And you can't smell like the bread and meat and like stews that like, from the various families like cooking dinner. And you can't hear anything but the crickets starting to come to life and the sort of like rustle from the animals in the underbrush. And then Adrien's like deeper voice sort of like resonating over everything as he's talking. But it feels like it echoes more than you've heard before because there's nothing. It is the backdrop. There is no backdrop behind it.
Mhm.
How does Andy feel?
I think Andy feels bad and scared.
Give me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh my god.
This poor kid's
God.
anxiety.
Okay, that's 13.
Okay. Yarrow, how are you feeling?
I think it's a bit complicated. I think, for one, at first, I think Yarrow is very, like, starry-eyed and just amazed by this nature. She's never really been around this much nature at all, because she grew up in, like, stone walls and was pretty, like, stuck inside, I guess, for a lot of her childhood. And so I think it's all so new to her that, like, sort of like the festival, she's seeing it as this, like, beautiful wonderland almost, where she's, like, so amazed by, like, oh, the sun looks different when it goes through trees, and I can see sunbeams for once, and the shadows look different, and I can hear an animal, and it's not a pet. Like, I think she's really amazed by that. And I think she also really needs to keep moving. Because I think the second, anytime there's breaks, anytime they slow down, she starts to think about the fact that her parents were so happy about this idea, and they don't know that it's a quest. And so she's a little torn, because part of her is like, well, if we get something, if we find a castle, if I find an amulet, if I find a token, then it's something I can take back to them. And that's awesome. But she's also like, how are they going to react when they realize that I didn't tell them this? When they realize that this is new information that wasn't cleared by them, even if it's good. And so she's sort of starting to get a bit anxious about that. And I think around the time that we set up camp and we stop, it also sort of hits her, oh, my parents aren't here. I'm very far from my parents right now. I've never been this far from my parents before. I am in clothes I'm allowed to get dirty. So the woods aren't the scary part. But I don't think Yarrow knows really what to do with herself when she's not on that tight leash.
Give me a wisdom saving throw.
A wisdom save, that is a 13.
All right. Henry.
Yay. Anxiety buddies.
I think that Henry's spent the last 12 years of her life being told exactly who she is and what she's supposed to do. In a different way than Yarrow, but like some of the same kind of ways. She's Henrietta Embers. She is the youngest daughter of the mayor. She is supposed to go to all the things and do all the things. And she's out in these woods, kind of for the first time, wearing quite literally somebody else's clothes. These are not hers. None of this is hers. And I think for the first time, it's almost like she is not her. She is a nameless entity out in these woods where she is not like she's not
Who did Henry arc? Is she dissociated?
but like she's for the first time she's not Henrietta Embers. She is something else that she is allowed to defy. Give me a wisdom saving throw.
Ooh, I was gonna say that's really sweet.
No.
Ooh, I got an 8. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, just to like mark down kind of like what you got.
Yeah.
Like,
Anytime
Like, so these aren't like hidden mechanics. This is just like this like feeling of like kids being unsure. This stuff
Yeah.
does kind of build as we go.
I'm doing little marks anytime I do well on things so that I can
There you
track
go.
it. I didn't do that last time, but
Clary.
So I think on the way here, Clary's attention has been entirely consumed by experiencing her environment. And just she's on like autopilot sort of as they're walking. She's just having a good time. But I think as they get to camp, Clary realizes like she's never been in the woods after dark before. She can't see any of her like usual landmarks. The woods have always been a friendly and familiar place to her, but it's only that part that she feels so secure in. And I think as like night starts to fall, right, or the sunset, as it starts to get a little darker in the woods, and she realizes that maybe some of the trees are different, and maybe some of the sounds are different, and some of the smells are different, she's starting to become a little unsettled, maybe a little nervous, maybe a little uncomfortable, which is a little new for her in these woods. That's not a feeling that she's felt out here before. And so, yeah, that's that's what's going on. And I think she's regretting maybe not being more like dialed in.
Give me a wisdom saving throw.
Okay, that's 16.
Okay. Yeah, so you guys are here. Some big thoughts for kids being away from home for maybe the first time in an unfamiliar place. You're with an adult, but he also did spend like 20 minutes telling you about all of the bad things that can happen in the woods. Not in a bad way, in like a you need to know this
I
kind of
also
way.
think one quick thing to add with Yarrow, with the being far from home for the first time for all of us, Yarrow feels very far from home right now because Yarrow's home in her head is still Greywald.
Yeah.
And so she's like across a continent in a forest. So it's a little intimidating, but also weirdly freeing.
Yeah. So it is like, getting dark. It gets darker in the woods a lot faster than it does outside. Because the trees, as the sun starts to go down, the trees pick up less and less. So even though you can look up and in between the branches still see like a somewhat blue sky and some light, underneath the leaves, you're very much in this like hazy twilight as the light's sort of like barely getting through. As you pull up with like the stream on one side and a larger hill on the other, and Adrien like drops his rucksack down, and builds his fire.
I watch avidly to learn how
Mhm.
to build a fire.
You absolutely can.
Clary is also gonna watch the fire.
Yeah. And he's
Hanging close to the group.
And he starts walking you through as the sun keeps going down. It's sort of in that way that like throughout the course of a day you don't really notice that the sun is moving, but like right in that like period of time where it starts to go down, it's like you look up 1 minute and it's light, and then you look down, you look back up and it's dark, and you're like, but when did that happen? You realize like as he's talking and he shows you without magic, he wants to teach this to you like by hand. You see as he gets the whole thing set up, gets the tinder built, takes out his like flintstones, and strikes it, and that spark falls and hits and lights the fire. You realize that it's gotten dark, and it's like in that dark, you didn't realize it was dark until you had that beacon of light in front of you. And everything once again is like bathed in this light, as you can see sort of everything in this little area that he's brought in for you.
I think Yarrow is hit by that need to move, the need to do something. Just in the, like, it's night, we are fully stopping for the night, and she doesn't like stopping. So she is exhausted, but she also looks up at Adrien. Could you start teaching me more about the scimitar?
You want to do, like, more weapons training? Sure, we can absolutely work on some of that tonight. He kind of looks up, looks around. You can see he's like trying to like gauge like about what time it is. He's like, let's have.
And he has the keen mind feet and always knows the time.
Let's have some dinner first, all right? Let's have some dinner first, and then we can absolutely work on some stuff until it's time to. We'll have some dinner. You can help me set up the tents, and then we'll go from there. You see, like pulls out like his little like cooking set, You guys have been snacking on Clary's stuff, but you see he pulls out like some fresh dried meats. So you see he gets some water from the creek and starts making like a little bit of like a meat stew. Cuts up some vegetables, puts it in. And pretty quickly you guys have like that nice smell of like fresh and like home cooked like stew as he pulls out like a big hunk of like bread to dip into it. And he's like, so for like, we're not gonna eat like I'm sure that you guys all eat like you fancy like dinner plates or dinner bowls or whatever. But out here, things are a little bit more rustic. So we're gonna have like a traditional sort of adventuring meal. As you see, he kind of like pulls the pot off, kind of puts it down. He hands everybody like a hunk of bread. And he's like, oh, and Andy's already got it. He just
Before I take it, I go over to the creek and wash my hands. And then I go.
You see he just tears like a chunk of the bread off and like dunks it in like the communal pot of soup and like scoops up some veggies with it and just eats it.
Yum.
Thanks, Dad.
I'm gonna roll some insight on Yarrow right now.
Can Yarrow do some
actually
sort
not
of
good.
check to figure out, like, can I do an insight check or something? Because I think what I need to know is is there actually an etiquette here that I'm supposed to be following, or is it worse for me to follow an etiquette
Give
right
me
now?
an insight check.
Well, Clary has her camping mess
That
kit, but I
is
guess it's not coming out.
Insight for me. Thank you. Oh, I'm proficient in that. 16. I'm
Nice.
proficient in insight. Oh, it's right. I'm good at reading people, not.
On a 16, I think Adrien looks up, sees you watching him, toasts to you with his hunk of bread, dips his bread in, pulls up a heaping bunch of vegetables, brings it to his mouth, spills half of them down his front, sort of like catches it, picks it up, gives you like a "what are you gonna do" look, puts it in his mouth, and just takes a big bite.
I'm so tempted to have Yarrow purposefully spill on herself because she's just masking and mirroring him, but she instead does the exact other motions of the.
Yeah. And you see
almost exactly, except for the smell.
And you see Adrien once again, like, toast you with his bread.
It's like the winking. She keeps trying to copy it and does it really badly.
Like, toast you with the bread, and then just takes, like, another massive bite.
Throw it? That might attract some
I wasn't trying to. I was just trying to do the thing. I don't know what it is, but he's just sort of going like this. And so I thought...
It's a toasting
with
thing.
a glass?
Oh yeah, with a glass.
Yeah, it's like that with the bread. Here. Clink.
Right. To
Clink,
us.
clink.
To us.
To us.
To adventures.
To adventures.
And to the friends we make along the way.
To friends.
Friends we make along the way.
And every toast just
Has to
continues.
repeat him, exactly.
Continues to eat. You guys have like a nice dinner. It's a nice hearty dinner. You guys have been like snacking on like the dried meats and like stuff. I need to get like some cheeses out for you too. So you guys have like this hearty stew, this bread, some cheese, some butter. Gets like water for everybody. That is the only thing that you drink kind of out of like these little like
I have
somewhat
my
like
own water
foldable
skin.
leathable. He's got like little like foldable leather cups.
I hate that actually. I use my water skin.
Okay.
No, that would be rude, so I don't. I use the weird ass leather cups.
We don't have like little wooden
Why can't
cups
they be
or
wood?
something?
I don't like that.
Why do they have to be foldable leather cups?
So you can pack them.
This is very
That's
disturbing.
so weird.
I feel like this is a thing that exists. Fact check. I think this is a thing that exists.
And it shouldn't.
Comment
If it
below.
does, it shouldn't.
Comment below if this thing actually exists and whether or not you think it should.
It shouldn't is the answer.
I think it does. Anyway. So you guys all get like your water. After you guys eat, he has you like help with the tents. He has like one big tent for him. And then he's got like two other tents. So he's like, so sleeping arrangements and kind of like, whatever. I'm gonna take this one, and you're always welcome to stay with me, or you can stay with your friends. That is up to you. The rest of you, how do you want to partner? We can do like the older kids and the younger kids. We can do
Claire's like staring at Andy.
older
You
kids
and me.
younger.
Sure. Sleepover?
All right. I'll just try
Oh
not to
my-
wake me up in the
Yarrow
middle
is
of the
still
night.
a little terrified of Andy after the incident. Sorry, yes. After the incident of me getting the nat 1 insight and thinking you were gonna kill me.
Oh yeah.
I am
forgot
still
about
kind
that.
of terrified, but
Yikes.
when isn't Yarrow anxious? It's fine. She
That's
knows how to
true.
sleep like that.
But yeah, so but you guys helping with the tents. Everybody who's like helping with the tents, give me like an intelligence check to see if you can figure out how to put it together.
Oh, another 19.
Oh,
I got an 18.
So that's
8?
a 19 on the dice,
Five.
which makes
8.
that a 21.
Okay. Yarrow, I think this is like very similar. I don't know if you've ever put a tent together before.
Absolutely not.
But I think that like you've done a lot of like
Honestly, like threading the
threading, crafting,
like
kinds
the
of
crafting part of like art.
I
is
think
probably
that
more.
this is very familiar. So like you understand like these are just instructions to be followed,
I'm great at
and you're
following
good
instructions.
at following instructions. So I think that when he tells you like this
Coming
goes
up with
here,
my own ideas.
so I think that when he's like this goes here like this, you're very good at okay. There you go. I think some of the other ones, Andy, I think maybe you're a little too short. And so there's like some stuff where you're like trying to like tug it down, it's not quite working.
Us trying to put these up.
No, for real.
For real.
Clary, I think you're like a little bit more successful. We've never really put up a tent before, so it's just like that kind of learning curve. Henry, what did you
I
get?
got an 18.
So I think on an 18,
Our tent is set.
kind of like Yarrow, you're like, okay, yeah, like it's you've done sort of like the aristocrat.
Also, like the older
Thing.
kids probably have slightly better like fine motor skills.
Yeah, so it's probably just a little bit easier. And you guys help the little ones out with their
Just
tent
like,
when it's
Thank
done.
you.
You're good. There's like
Thank
a bit
you.
of a sag in like the top of our tent.
It's okay. You won't hate it when you stand up.
You're
You're
so
short.
loud.
I am really short. That's true.
You're both short.
But yeah, so that probably takes you about between like the older kids helping the younger ones and like Adrien setting up his tent and then helping you. That probably takes about like half hour, 45 minutes to get all three of them like set up and done. How is everyone feeling now that you've had like a big hearty meal and then you had to do this tent thing? After walking like 7 hours.
I don't actually know. I was gonna say I'm so sleepy, but I'm not sure it's hit her yet.
I think Henry's in that weird space where like she's physically tired. We've been doing a lot of walking and things today. But she's also like super hyped up for the adventure. But she's also doing that kid thing where she's like, I have to go to sleep so that we wake up and can go back to what we're doing. Like sleep is the obstacle, so if I go to sleep now, we can wake up sooner and get back to it.
Yeah.
But thinking that makes it harder. It's the Christmas morning.
It's the Christmas
Christmas
morning
Eve
effect.
effect. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I actually do like a con save or check just to see how much the tired hits me despite me wanting?
Yeah. If anybody wants to do like a con save to be like, how am I gonna fall
Okay.
asleep right now?
That is I have a +0, so a 9.
I got 12.
An EP.
It's a 5.
I'm not like falling over, but I'm tired.
It's a con save.
Mhm.
8.
Yeah. Okay. Adrien sort of like looks around at you and he's like, why don't we hold off on that scimitar training for another night? I think that we've had a lot going on today. I think that today's like a good day to just rest a little bit. Honestly, yeah, I'm feeling a bit tired.
That makes sense.
The whole scimitar thing. I'd love to teach you, but
We can
I
just
have
do it during the day, during one of our breaks.
yeah, like
Tomorrow
I'd have to
instead.
heave my halberd up, and I just in my arms at this point.
I haven't walked this much in my life.
Yeah, that would, yeah. So he kind of like sits down. He just like rummage through his bag, and pull out. Andy, give me a like history check.
9.
Okay. You see, he pulls out your mother's like loot, and he starts just like he's not as good as your mom. Your mom is like quite good at it. He's not. But he does like you can see it's also made for a halfling, so it's like way it's like much smaller for him. But you see he does manage to like pick out some tunes on it. And he's just like quietly sort of like playing, letting you guys like talk amongst yourselves.
I also, as we're sort of settling in, and I realize we're stationary, I'm just gonna look up and I'm gonna see if I can recognize any constellations I know.
Give me a nature check.
Okay, my nature that's a 14. I think I read a lot of like sky-based, like starry books. I think that was like what I liked reading more.
I think looking up at the sky as you're like getting ready, not quite to go to bed because you're not in your tent, you're still outside, but it's like very much in that space where it's like Adrien's just very quietly like playing some music. The fire is starting to die down a little bit. Your companions are starting to like drift off, maybe like and it's sort of in that like you're like half drifting off where you're sitting because you haven't like gotten up to go to bed, but you're like, okay, like I'm really like kind of nodding, and you're sort of looking up and you see constellations that you know because you've read about them.
I'm seeing them in person for the first time.
But you're seeing them in person for the first time. And you realize that you're seeing something that you've read about but never thought you'd see.
I think
before.
Not even that. I think I probably used to, when I was younger, I think I used to like hope that I would get to see the stars because the city lights always blocked them out. And that was one of the things I really looked forward to when I started adventuring, was that I'd actually get to see the stars more.
Yeah. And I think give me another wisdom saving throw.
Real bad. That's a 4.
Uh-oh.
I think I feel very small.
I think you feel very, not in a bad way necessarily. I do want to specify this is not like a good or bad wisdom.
Not a
save.
freak out wisdom.
This is
save.
just like, what does this mean for you? And I think on a 4 you look at the sky and you realize that you're a lot smaller than maybe you ever realized. And whether that's good or bad, I don't know if Yarrow knows.
That doesn't sink in yet.
But
I think it's just that, and also just the general like awe of like so much has happened to Yarrow over these last 2 days that have been so new.
Yeah.
That this is more like on top of all of that.
You know, you've heard your parents talk about their adventures to everywhere around the continent and to lands beyond it. And I don't think it's ever really sunk into Yarrow that means that the sky you grew up looking at wasn't the sky that they saw.
I wonder if they ever looked up at the stars.
Do you say that out loud?
I think
Or
I
just
just sort of like
Think it.
think it. It was just enough of a thought that it came out in the voice, you know?
Fair enough.
Then I go to the tent to go to bed. Unless there's conversations happening.
I got 5 on that con save, so I think Andy fully falls completely asleep,
Outside.
sitting at the fire outside.
Yeah, your dad tucks you in.
Yeah, I think it's Clary's gonna go to the tent for bedtime, but I don't think she falls asleep right away because Clary's still feeling unsettled. This is her first time, not only out at night and in this part of the woods and stuff. This is also her first time spending the night away from home. And I think it maybe occurs to her that she doesn't know how far-ranging squirrels typically are. And
Give
so
me a perception check as you go into your
He's
tent.
following us. He senses the pastries. He's coming.
A perception check?
Yeah.
Mr. Kibitz is the
17.
real cryptid.
On a 17, you walk in. You have your rucksack more or less unpacked. But I think that
I've still got those sunflower seeds in my pocket.
Sorry, I just had a vision of the squirrel like, popping out.
no. Yes. And you have your rucksack more or less unpacked. But I don't know like how much you've dug through it. In that, in like you're half paying attention and you're half not, and you're like in the squirrel. And so I think that when you pulled out your like bedroll and things and you laid it out, you didn't really dig much deeper. And as you go in to get to bed, you kind of kick over your rucksack.
Mm-hmm.
And you see some like as it like falls over, something inside like comes out enough that you can kind of see it. And you pull it out, and it's a knitted blanket that you know was on your bed this morning. That your mom made you when you were about Corey's age. That is always just sort of like at the foot of your bed, but it's like this little knitted blanket. That it looks like your dad must have packed you.
So you definitely like wrap that around my shoulders.
You burrito yourself.
Bless you.
Excuse me. Oh my gosh, burrito myself. I think Clary like is feeling that comfort of home a little bit, but is still a little unsettled. And I think Clary is gonna creep over to the edge of the tent and poke her head out of the tent flap. Mr. Tibbetts?
Okay.
Mr. Tibbetts?
I'm gonna jump to Henry and then we're gonna resolve that shit. So, Henry,
Yeah.
what do you do as like
What's our
Adrien?
tent look like?
As like
Well,
Adrien's firing.
I think that Henry got a 12, and I think that she's in that. I think that I'm in that space where like I'm trying to stay awake. Like I don't want to go to sleep, but I am tired. But I'm going to fight it. And I think that like as Andy goes to bed, as Yarrow's kind of drifting, as Clary like goes into her cabin, the fire is kind of dying down. I do feel like Henry has been kind of feeling this whole day like for the first time I'm untethered from something. I'm fully free to be who I am, and I think as the darkness is starting to like creep in, and as the fire is starting to die down, like my friends are starting to kind of leave one by one by one, I think that feeling of freedom.
Notably,
and
Andy is fully just passed out at
well, like,
fire.
but he's like asleep, like he's not here anymore, if that makes sense.
You're the
like-
last kid up at the sleepover.
Yeah, like it's kind of like I'm the last kid. Like Adrien's there, but like the fire's kind of dying down. I think that Henry like is very much starting to feel like that freedom isn't so wonderful. Like, weird way to describe it. Like the freedom is cold.
Okay.
Like it's there and it's tangible, but it's not that bright warmth that it had been earlier. As like the darkness is creeping in, you're kind of staring out into the woods where there's nothing familiar, and the stars where there's nothing. See, like it's there, but it's slightly off. Like we kind of talked about with Andy. Like
Yes.
it's like the world is slightly on its axis
Give
somehow.
me a wisdom saving throw.
That's good. Oh, now
Henry experiences anxiety for the first time.
On a nat 1, Andy or Henry.
it was almost an 18.
It was close.
Henry.
Oh.
Henry. On a nat 1, I think you're staring. I think you've stood up to go. To go to bed.
I think I've stood up to go to bed
I
and
think-
somehow wound up like on the outskirts of camp. Farthest from the
no, I
Oh, you don't
disagree.
think so?
Henry gets attacked by a bear.
I think you stand up, yeah.
Ah.
I think you
Well, it was
stand
not
up and
one.
find yourself. You're like getting ready to go into the tent, and the fire's behind you, so you're kind of backlit, which also means that as you're looking out, you're not looking through the fire and the
Yeah.
firelight. So it's very much like the firelight reaches so far, and you can see your shadow like stretching out in front of you into the dark.
Like merging into
This dark. And you can see where the firelight hits, and then past that is just black. And you're staring. I think you've got like one hand kind of on the tent flap, and you're just sort of staring out. And on a nat 1, I think as you look, and there's this feeling of like this kind of cold feeling, I think somewhere is just and give me, so you gotta roll the nat 1 on that wisdom. Give me a survival check real quick.
That was a 5. It's 14. So I'm gonna give him 1.
On a 14, you know you're staring in the direction you're going, not that you came from. And as you stare, you feel that cold, almost like a wind sort of like blow at you from like in front of you, sort of like hit and then fall. I think on a 1, we don't really have like the fear condition because you're kids.
Yeah.
But I think Henry is afraid. Resolving,
And then all she hears is Mr.
Stop. Fucking Mr. Adrien, give me an animal handling check.
No, because Clary genuinely does not know if he will show up or not. Is he a regular
give
squirrel?
me
Is he
an
a
animal
special
handling
squirrel?
check.
He's a familiar.
Ooh, that's a 9.
On a 9, I think you lean out, go, Mr. Tibbets. Mr. Tibbets, are you there? And I don't think you hear anything
Mr.
in
Tibbets,
response.
I'm scared.
And that is all for this episode of Optional Class, The Hallowed Dark Act 1. Catch us next time.
I'm scared.
Oh my God.
Wild.